Once upon a time, there was a freshwater fish named Finny who lived in a cozy tank. One day, Finny's owner, a boy named Jaiden, decided to move him to a new, bigger tank. Jaiden wanted to make sure the water chemistry was just right, so he asked his older sister Naomi, who was taking high school biology, to help him. Together, they placed Finny into 3 different tanks to find the perfect balance. These tanks were named Hypertonic, Hypotonic, and Isotonic. The Hypertonic tank had very salty water, almost like ocean water. When Finny was placed in this tank, he started to feel uncomfortable and dehydrated. Naomi explained, the water inside Finny's body is leaving to try to dilute the salty water around him. This is because of osmosis. Osmosis? Jaiden asked. Yes, Naomi said. Osmosis is the movement of water through a semi-permeable membrane, like the one around Finny's cells, to balance the concentration of solutes. Imagine a balloon filled with water. The balloon has a semi-permeable membrane, allowing water to pass through, but not the solutes, like salt. If you put that balloon into a bowl of salty water, the water from the balloon would leave to balance out the saltiness in the bowl. Similarly, in a hypertonic solution, water moves from areas of low solute concentration, inside Finny's cells, to areas of high solute concentration, outside in the tank, to try to balance things out. This made Finny's cells shrink or crenate, and he felt very thirsty and weak. For plant cells, this situation would cause the cell membrane to pull away from the cell wall, a process called plasmolysis. Next, Jaiden and Naomi tried the hypotonic tank. This tank had very fresh, plain water with no salt at all. When Finny was placed in this tank, he started to swell up with water, feeling bloated and uncomfortable. Naomi explained, now the water is moving into Finny's cells because there are more solutes inside his body than in the plain water. This makes his cells swell up. For our balloon, putting it into the plain water would make it soak up more water and swell because of the semi-permeable membrane. If it soaks up too much, it might even burst. For animal cells, this swelling up is called cytolysis. They can take in so much water that they explode. For plant cells, they also swell, but because of their strong cell walls, they just become very firm and swollen, a state called turgid. The pressure of water pressing out on the cell's wall is called turgor pressure. Finally, Jaiden and Naomi tried the isotonic tank. This tank had water that was just right, the same saltiness as the water in Finny's body, similar to a well-balanced aquarium. When Finny was placed in this tank, he felt comfortable and happy. Naomi smiled and said, "This is the perfect balance. The water inside and outside Finny's cells is equal, so there's no net movement of water. He'll stay just right in this tank." Imagine the balloon again, but this time, you put it into a bowl of water that has the same saltiness as the water inside the balloon. The balloon stays the same size because the water inside and outside is balanced. This is what happens to cells in an isotonic solution. Animal and plant cells both stay the same size because there is no net movement of water in or out. This balance helps cells maintain homeostasis, equilibrium, or a stable environment. Jaiden learned a lot from these experiments with the tanks. He understood that Finny, like cells, needed the right balance of water and dissolved solutes to stay healthy. Too much salt, and he shrank; too much plain water and he swelled up, but with just the right balance, he stayed just right. Naomi explained, in scientific terms, solutions are mixtures of solutes, like salt, and solvents, like water. Water moves across cell membranes to balance the concentration of solutes. In hypertonic solutions, water leaves the cell because there are more solutes outside. In hypotonic solutions, water enters the cell because there are more solutes inside. In isotonic solutions, water moves equally in both directions because the solute concentration is balanced. And so, the tale of Finny the fish taught Jaiden and everyone about the importance of tonicity and the different effects on cells, helping them appreciate the delicate balance needed to keep living things healthy and happy.